Hi guys, Tracy here, and I'm going to share with you two spreads in my This Life Noted project. And these two spreads represent mostly October, a tiny little bit of September, and I don't think there's anything in there from November. So what I did was I actually combined the This Life Noted kits from October and November because I hadn't had a chance to do any pocketed scrapbooking in November, so I still had that entire kit intact. So I just combined them, and here's what's left of them. I grabbed a couple of extra pieces of pattern paper. I pulled from the Alison Craft collection. I forget what it was called. Color and Composition, I think it was called. So I just took 2 pieces of 6x6 paper from that, and then the rest of the things on these pages are all from the 2 kits. And so this is what I still have here. And I still have lots of the cards left, and I have a couple pictures that I want to make sure I get in this album before the December kit comes. So I'll just go through and show you what I did. This is the easiest pocket ever. It's just the card, and I'm just going to put it in the pocket like that. I really like how that looks. It's very kind of retro, and I just didn't want to do anything to it. I just thought it looked really nice just as it is. This is a card. It looked like that on the back, so I think this is from the November kit, and I just cut a mat out of this paper, this Alison Craft paper, and then I used the letters that came in the kit to spell out True Scrap 5. I've got 2 photos here from the event. I used an arrow here that came in the kit, this really cute wood veneer arrow with the little doodles on it, and I just did a little bit of journaling about Lane had on her superhero gear. And so I snapped a picture of the screen. I participated in True Scrap as I participated in a bunch of the classes, and I also taught one of the classes, so it was really fun, and I just put honored to be teaching here on a little tag that came in the kit. I just added a little tiny sequin here, a little star sequin. So that's that one. Now for this cell, it's just a 3x4 photo that I printed up on my printer, and then I just stapled one of the tags that came in the kit, did some journaling on there, and added 2 of these little dots. I don't know who makes these dots, but they're really cute. They're like enamel dots, but they're all the same size. So that was that. And then this is the date card, the month card that came in the October kit. I splattered some Mr. Huey's in Seafoam and Cameo and circled the date that this picture was taken on. This was actually the same day as True Scrap. I did True Scrap in the day and evening, and then my friend Tanya came over in the later part of the evening, and we scrapbooked together. I outlined the photo so it wouldn't get lost on because the card and the photo were sort of blending in with one another. And then I put this wood veneer camera that came in the kit, and then I just filled the heart up with a whole bunch of sequins. And that was so much fun, and I liked that so much that I actually did it again in another place later on. I'll show you that on the next page. But I really love that look. It's a great way to use up some sequins too, because we get sequins in every kit, and I haven't been using them all up, so I've been kind of accumulating some. So it's nice to have a technique that uses lots of them. This was the Good Things Are Going to Happen Today card that came in the October kit. I just cut it down a little bit so that I could mat it on a piece of, this is another piece of that Alison Craft paper in the 6x6 paper pad. And then I have, oops, there's a little hair on that. And then I took this card and I added this is I think a 2.5 by 2.5 Instagram, and I just layered this little tag underneath of it. It's such a treat when Naomi comes and gives you a stinky kiss. Naomi comes in for a kiss, I wrote on the banner with my white Uniball gel pen. And then this one is just a photo of my sweet Maya. She, as soon as I get any packages in the mail, as soon as the box is open and empty, she climbs in and has a little snooze. So I put the little happy mail flag there, and then I just did some journaling on the flap of the box. I love that picture. And then this is another 4x6 photo that I just put some more of those tags, those ormolu tags that came in the kit. One has the date, and then the other two have some journaling. It says, if only Livy kept her own room this neat. Her American Girl rooms are perfectly decorated and always very tidy. Her own room, on the other hand, not so much. Moving on. This is the card that looked like a paper bag. I'm pretty sure this was in the November kit. I can't remember. I'm not going to be able to remember the kits because the two just got mixed up with one another as I was using them. But this favorite die cut, I believe, came in the November kit. And so I just layered it under the photo. This is a 4x3 photo, and it's a picture of my daughter, and she is going through this phase where she's obsessed with mermaids. And so she went on YouTube and looked up this tutorial on how to make your own mermaid outfit using a pair of tights or leggings and a pillowcase. And so this is her. She wants a black and silver pillowcase now so that she can have a coordinating tail to go with the rest of her tail. But anyways, I took one of those Alison Kreft stickers. This also didn't come in the kit, but because I had the paper pad out, oh, it's not out, because I had the paper pad out that goes with this, I just pulled out these stickers. They came in a previous kit, probably sometime over the summer, and so I just layered that sticker along with these two tags and did some journaling. These days she is obsessed with mermaids, and this layer right here is actually one of the 3x4 cards. I just put it sideways and layered it in behind. This is another, this is another 4x6 photo of us all in the car driving down to Thanksgiving, and so I just stapled one of the Ormolu label banner thingies, did some journaling on there, and this said quoted, but because it wasn't a quote, I just covered it up with those little enamel dots that came in the kit. This one is really, really simple. It's just this card, and I stapled a photo to it and stamped gratitude. And I like to have lots of simple cards in between my more elaborate cards, just although even my most elaborate cards are not all that fancy. I tend to be pretty simplistic with my pocketed page protectors, or my pocketed scrapbooking. I love this quote, and because we're right next door to PEI, Anne of Green Gables is really big around here, so it was really nice to have this on a card. I just put 3 fall colored sequins on there. So I wanted to do something different with the die cut that came in this month's kit. I tend to almost always layer it, leave it white, and I layer it over top of a colorful piece of paper so that the colors are showing in the negative space. But this time I decided to put the colors on the die cut itself and layer it on a plain piece of paper. So I chose black because there was a lot of black in other places in this spread. So I chose black as the background. And then what I did with this was I took this stamp, which I actually couldn't tell just by looking at it. I didn't notice that it has this, it's actually 2 chevrons. It's a thick chevron and a thin chevron. So see how it's got 2 lines, the thick one and the thin one. So I took this stamp, and I just stamped it over and over again with different colors of Stampin' Up! Ink. The ones I used were, this is Bermuda Bay, this is Pumpkin Spice, this is Lucky Limeade, and this is Daffodil Delight. Then this card is another really easy one. The card was already pretty cool as it was, so I just added a 2x2 Instagram and just put at Walkbox there. This is just a 4x6 photo. My niece. And then I misted these arrows with yellow Mr. Huey's, with the Sunshine it's called, Mr. Huey's. And this is a card, I believe this card came in the October kit, I could be wrong. I used the letters that came in the kit to spell out crafts. I was going to put We Brought Thanksgiving Crafts, but I didn't have enough space, so I called them Turkey Crafts. They're actually Turkey, Owl, and Fox Crafts, but anyways, turkey fits better, so that's what I wrote. And the picture there, and then the two pictures on either side are of the crafts. This is a 3x4 photo matted on one of the cards. So anyways, I'm going to show you the next spread. Okay, so here's the next spread in my This Life Noted project. I'm going to start right up here. This is, my mom and I have a tradition of going to the Forum every year. They have a large craft show there. It's probably the biggest craft show in our city. And so we try to go to that every year. I think we might have missed a year or two here and there, but we went this year. And so this is a picture of my mom outside the Forum. I have a wood veneer arrow that came in the kit pointing to her. And then this is the journaling piece that goes with that, and so it points up with another wood veneer arrow. It says Mom and I try to get to Christmas at the Forum every year, and then in brackets it says traditions. On this yellow card that came in the kit, I just added one of those Ormolu banners that comes in the kit, and then this Ormolu flare badge that also came in the kit. Because it's something that me and my mom do together, I put this You and Me card on there just as it is, and I just added this arrow just for a little bit of interest so it wasn't too plain. Then these two kind of go together. We went shopping at Target when it first opened, and so this was back in mid to late September, I guess it would have been. And my daughter was just so adorable trying on things in the changing room that I had to snap her picture. She was just like really into trying on clothes and walking around and strutting her stuff. And this is the daughter who usually doesn't like her picture taken, so I had to scrapbook this one. So shopping at Target. And that's just on a card that came in the kit with some journaling on it. And then this is another card that came in the kit. It says this was brilliant. This is from the November kit. And then I can't remember, it was some type of like family saying on there. I just covered it up with this strip of paper from the Alison Craft Composition and Color collection. It's this paper here. Just had it, that strip was already cut from something else that I did. So I just layered that on the card and put the picture on top. These two go together, and they just document a project that, just like a home renovation project that we did, and just talks a little bit about how like one thing leads to another. Like this was actually not the project that we were planning to do. We have a project that we need to do, but in order to do that project, we have to do another project and then to do that project, we had to do another one. So it's kind of complicated. And this is a Kelly Perky label sticker that I just put on this card. I think I had to go back in my kits from before to get this card. I think this might be from the September kit. And I covered up the good stuff on it on the other side. This is the card that looks like this. So the white strip is right here. Covered it up with this black and white Instagram photo, and it's called After the Shoot. And this was just, I'd come in from doing a doll photo shoot outside, and I just kind of like plopped all my stuff down here on the counter beside the fridge, and the sun was coming in the window. The window's kind of like over on this side of the kitchen, and it was hitting the doll just perfectly. And so I decided to snap a photo for like kind of like just an after the shoot photo, because my camera was there, and this is the bag that I had all the props. Like I had some apples and some like wires and stuff to hold the doll with and that sort of thing. Also my new wallet is showing here, which I kind of liked. So yeah, anyways, that's what that is. And I just wanted it to breathe a little bit, so I just left it over to the side and left the pattern there by itself. Then this is a really cool card that came in the kit, and it looked like that on the other side but sideways, and so I just covered that black one with this photo. And I'm just talking about like doing doll photography and how much fun it is and how it's an unexpected hobby I didn't know I would end up taking up. This is from the September kit, and this is from a kit from before too. And I just glued a punched heart into where the camera lens goes. I think these both might be from the September kit. I can't quite remember. So remember how I said that I loved putting all those sequins in the negative space? Well, I'm going to show you how I did this card right now. So I'm starting off by taking a craft mat and covering my surface, and I have a bunch of sequins here that I'm going to use, and I'm just using my glossy accents, squeezing out a little bit onto this card. And this is a pre-cut card. It's one of the Becky Higgins cardstock cards that you can buy that comes already cut and corner rounded and everything. It's from the Amber collection, which I'm not sure if you can still buy. But so I had that on hand, but you could easily just cut yourself a 3x4 little card. And I'm just sprinkling the sequins, making sure that it's mostly going to, the areas that are going to show are mostly covered in sequins. And so I'm just going to keep on putting glossy accents on and then adding some sequins. And I didn't want to cover the whole card in glossy accents because I thought that would be a messy way to go, but also I didn't want the glossy accents to dry too much in between before I got a chance to sprinkle some sequins on there. And what I'm going to do is any of the gaps that show once I put that negative space card on top, the die cut card, I will go back and fill in with smaller sequins or with other sequins layered on top of other sequins. And so now here I am just putting on the last little bit of sequins. And this took a fair amount of time to dry. There might be other adhesive that doesn't take as long. It's just there was so much. Usually glossy accents dries really fast. I didn't really even think about, here I am adding a couple of extra sequins that were loose, and I'm kind of pulling them out and moving them around. And I'll do that until I'm satisfied that these sequins are mostly covering up the cardstock. If little bits of the cardstock show it, it doesn't really matter because it is a pretty color of cardstock, but there's how it looks close up. And once I put that card on there, I noticed there were just a couple places that needed some breaking up. It wasn't that the cardstock was showing, it was more about the balance of color. I wanted some different colors there. So that's how that looks. And so now I'm just going to put that card on top and see how it looks. And I liked it okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and glue it. And I had my glossy accents out, and so I decided to use that to glue down the card. And I'm just going to put a baby wipe box on top of it and let it dry, and that's how I made that card. So that's how I did this card, and this is how it came out. So the sequins are all piled up. I went back and added a couple of places where they were too much the same color, like I added this one and I added this one, just to kind of break up some of the colors and make it look random. It was random, but it didn't look random sometimes. I just love how this looks. I think it's really cool. And so my current favorite things are these two dolls that I have, and oh, I'm getting the picture all dirty as I talk about it. These are pull-up dolls, and I wasn't sure if I was going to be really into dolls, so I started by buying two less expensive dolls, which just didn't cut it for me. They were really cool and nice, but they just made me want to pull up even more. So I ended up putting my Tenku dolls up for sale and getting these two pull-up dolls instead, and they're really, really cute, and I think I'm going to collect them, but I'm going to collect them very slowly. This is another strip of that Allison craft paper, and I just put this, it's just stuff, tag on there, just, or a flare badge from Ormolu on there, just to kind of remind me of that. It's just stuff. I brought my daughters to the cat show, which was also at the Forum. It was actually the week before Christmas at the Forum. And it was a really nice way for us 3 girls to spend the morning. We drove into the city, which is something we don't usually do, and got to see and the girls got to pet. You can't pet all the cats at a cat show because they're really concerned about spreading germs and the cats getting sick and stuff. And I don't know, maybe some cats are nervous too. But you were allowed to pet some of the cats, and the kids were ecstatic when they got to pet these cats. These are hairless Sphinx cats. There's one there and one there and one there. And because it took place in October, there was a competition for decorating the cages like for Halloween. And this display area was like absolutely gorgeous. It looked like the cats were in these like gothic, they had these black blankets all around them, and they looked like they were, I don't know, like in fancy coffins, like they were vampires or something, but not coffins, but they were in like boxes and stuff that had velvet and fancy brass and that sort of thing. They were really, really cool. And the backdrop, which I covered, was really pretty. So I used this banner to say Cat Show, Halifax Forum. And then I did some journaling on this, and I just swiped, this is one of those wood veneers, and it has the squiggle marks kind of debossed on it. And so I just swiped it across a pool party ink pad, and it took up the ink on the high parts, but then where the squiggles were, it didn't take the ink, so that, I think that looks quite nice. I like that. I made a bit of a mess. My hands were inky, and I don't know if you can tell, but there's kind of messy ink all over this, but it's all over it, so I guess it looks like it might have been done on purpose. So I did some journaling about the cat show right there. And then I guess I'll go this way. This is Stephanie's cat, my friend Stephanie. This is her beautiful, gorgeous Persian cat. And so I put it on this card, which came in the November kit, did some journaling, and then I just put this flag that also came in the kit. That's just an Ormolu banner thingy. So that's that. I was at her house scrapbooking, and her cat was sitting on the trimmer. This card I was gonna leave just as it is, and then I noticed that the paperclip, the camera-shaped paperclip that came in the kit, kind of just fit perfectly in there, so I just put it in there. Even though it sort of covers up some of the words, your brain can fill in the blanks and know what it says, even though the paperclip is covering part of it. So it adds a bit of texture to that otherwise flat card. Oh yes, these two go together. So this is a picture that I took because we are going to be renovating our fireplace in January, February, and into March probably. I don't know how long of a project it's gonna be, but we have a fireplace that's sort of built in, and it's got like it juts out from the room. And so we're gonna put recessed built-ins on either side of the fireplace. We went to the QE2 home lottery house to check out the model home that you could win, and they had the same kind of getup that we want to have. It won't be this fancy, but I took a picture of it just for ideas so that we could look at it and see how they did theirs and do ours kind of similar. Not as fancy, obviously. And so I just did some journaling here that said it would be pretty amazing to win the home lottery, but in case we don't win, we took a picture of the fireplace. Of course, if we win, we probably won't be renovating our fireplace in our current home to look like that. And then this just says The Good Life, because I thought it kind of fit with the idea of winning a lottery. This is my pull-up doll Suzette before and after she got her new wig. And I think the wig looks awesome. The wig is actually on a little crooked here. It needs to come down a little bit on her forehead there, but it's on straight now, and she looks really, really, really cute. And then the last card was another one that I swiped an ink pad over to have the high parts take up the ink, and then the low parts didn't take the ink. And I just love this card, and I don't know exactly what it means. And we love Carpe Diem, or Carpe Diem and we love, it doesn't really make any good sense. but I just really like it from a design perspective. I just thought that wood grain flare badge just looks awesome in the middle of this, and so I just put it on there because I like it. I like the look of it, and it's my scrapbook and it doesn't have to make sense to anybody else. So thanks for taking a look at my pocketed scrapbooking pages. I had a lot of fun working with this kit. I still have quite a bit of these 2 kits left, so I'll probably crank out another spread before the end of November. So thanks so much for watching, everybody. Bye-bye.